It has been an exciting night. Lots of news happenings. We've had an all-star setup of people coming on, and that does not stop here. Let's go out to the D&M Leasing Hotline to talk to Dallas Cowboys longtime reporter of All City Sports, the chillest guy in the business, Clarence. I appreciate you taking some time. How are you doing on this Friday afternoon? How are you taking all this news in?
Hey, chill.
I mean, 9 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yep.
I mean, come on, guys. Come on.
A news dump.
Yeah. They knew me and CA'd be on the radio, and I guess Jerry thought the news would be best delivered at the hands of us.
Yeah, a Friday news dump or whatever you want to call it. You know, I reported yesterday it was going to happen before Friday. You know, it was going to be Brian Schottenheimer. Could have been happening earlier Thursday. My understanding, they had told people in the building to be ready for a press conference on Friday. It didn't happen as far as the press conference. It's going to be on Monday, but the deal was done on Friday, and certainly they made the official announcement tonight. The momentum has been building in this direction, certainly, for a few days now. He's the only candidate that got two long interviews. There was no one else that really got a serious consideration. Certainly, they had some conversations with Dion. Certainly, they did talk to Pete Carroll, but initially they were talking to Pete Carroll about Brian Schottenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to pick Pete Carroll's brain about Brian Schottenheimer. Then he interjected himself and said, "What about me?" You know, trying to stab him in the back and get the job, so to speak. And that didn't go anywhere. Certainly, he was hired by
the Raiders.
The Raiders, but it was Schottenheimer. That's the direction it's going. They certainly had a cursory interview with Kellen Moore last week, but I understand it didn't even last 2 hours. Kellen Moore was not, a serious consideration, and the only one that really got a serious consideration was Schottenheimer. And it's for the fan base, it's kind of out of nowhere. It's out of the blue. Here's a guy who no one was trying to allowed to call plays, be the offensive coordinator, let alone be the head coach, and now he's the 10th coach in Cowboys history.
So tell us this, Clarence Hill. Clarence Hill, who's been covering these Cowboys firsthand, know where all the bodies are buried. Who wanted him more, Jerry or Steven, or was this a joint hire?
I mean, I think everything is a joint hire. People get caught into the tug of war between Jerry and Steven. Jerry and Steven have been in lockstep most of the time, and this is not necessarily a Johnny Manziel, Zach Martin type situation. They've been in lockstep. I mean, certainly, I think this is something that Dak wanted as well. He keeps that. I think they wanted that continuity with offense, with the quarterback, the familiarity there, and his 4-year deal aligns perfectly with Dak's 4-year deal.
Clarence, what can you tell us about what you think the rest of the staff will look like in the coming days?
Yeah, is Jason Witten going to be part of this? Is he a possibility?
I don't think I would. There was so much talk about Jason Witten earlier, but I've been hearing that Jason Witten may not be part of the staff. Certainly. There's been talk about Eberflus, and Eberflus is probably the leader in the clubhouse, with the defense coordinator, former Cowboys linebacker. So Matt Eberflus was the defense coordinator with the Colts and became head coach with the Chicago Bears. And he's someone they always go with that familiarity angle. He's a guy that they want to bring back and be defensive coordinator, but they have to go through the Rooney Rule and interview some guys before they can make that official. So that's not something they can just hire right off the bat.
Right.
Matt Eberflus, the defense coordinator, and then we'll see because Al Harris is gone, Prince is gone, the receivers coach is gone,
Bones Fossil is gone.
Bones Fossil, his special teams coach is gone. I do think Lunda Wells will be a part of this staff.
Oh, okay, cool. So Lunda's going to stay because he's the tight ends coach and everybody loves him.
Yeah, and he may not be a tight end. He may be something else, maybe offensive line coach. But I think that they're going to find a role to keep Lunda Wells.
Very good. Again, this is really interesting because again, it's on a Friday, a news dump Friday. Our buddy Tim Collishaw has already written the headline, Why Brian Schottenheimer is the Biggest Who Cares Hire in Dallas Cowboys History. And this is no disrespect to Schottenheimer. It's just that the way they did the process and how they had an opportunity to perhaps get a bigger name, or if they had even thought about it harder, be uncomfortable for once.
Yeah, see, I think that's the problem is that Schottenheimer is going to get a lot of grief, and it's really not personal with Schottenheimer. But you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. Here, he's part of the process, and he's part of this. The fruit from the poisonous tree, as they say. He's part of this, and just that it's one thing if you came to the conclusion after you would interview the brightest candidates and the best candidates, and you didn't interview any of the best candidates.
Right.
It's just like, are you the smartest guy in the room? And you don't interview Ben Johnson, don't interview Aaron Glenn. You don't wait to interview Coach Bro. The Washington offensive coordinator, and you do this hire. You hire someone that no one else is even considered hiring. He's not a young coach. He's not a young up-and-coming coach. He's not considered based on track record, a bright offensive mind. And so that's why it's no one's excited. And Brian, listen, he deserves to succeed on his own merit. The problem is that's not how life works. He's going to be judged by the process.
You're listening to Clarence Hill of All City Sports, a longtime Dallas Cowboys beat writer. 60 seconds or less, your parting words and your final thoughts before we get out of here on The Fan.
Well, I've been covering this team since 1997. They got 4 playoff wins. Most Cowboy fans are frustrated because they haven't been back to the Super Bowl since 1995. It's going on 30 years. The 30-year anniversary of that Super Bowl team comes up this year. It's supposed to be about winning. Is this about winning? Or is this about continuity? Is this about comfort? Is this going to get you over the hump? Is this going to get you back to the Super Bowl? I don't know that this move is about winning.
Just that simple.
Man.
And that's why we had you on. Last guest, wrap this thing up tight. We'll set your press conference on Monday at 11 o'clock, and you can hear it right here on 105.3 The Fan. Thanks, Chill.
All right, thank you.